Okay, so threats is everywhere right now. We're talking about malware, we're talking about vulnerabilities, we're talking about mobile threats, we're talking about banking threats, and cyber weapon and APT. Let me talk a little bit about each of one of them. So malware, we're talking about viruses, we're talking about Trojan that usually are used to infiltrate inside of the desktop and the server and do some kind of inaction. The action could be like stealing of information or really damaging your device. When we talk about vulnerabilities, these are flaws inside of the operating system and software. And the attackers are using these flaws in order to take control of the machine. And when they take control of the machine, they can do whatever they want. Mobile threats, everybody right now is using a smartphone. There is Android, there is iOS smartphone, and believe me, it's becoming more dangerous. So our recommendation, Kaspersky, is that if you have a smartphone, you need to put some kind of security on it. Because when we talk about the threat landscape, what the attackers are targeting next year, smartphones is number 2 on the list. Okay? Because there is a lot, especially on ransomware, especially on stealing of information. We are here in GCC. We care a lot about our pictures and not to have our picture on the internet. So if somebody will steal our picture, we could be a ransom for these people and to pay money for them, not to. So we have to be very careful on that. Banking threats, everybody has an account in the bank. And for me, it's been about maybe 1 year I didn't go to the bank. I do everything through the online bank. So you have to be very careful. If somebody will steal your bank account information, he can steal your money. Okay? And the bank, usually he cannot do anything about it. He will not return money for you. When we talk about cyber weapons and APT, we're talking about a more complex attack. We're not talking about malware. We're talking about something we call advanced persistence threats. We invest a lot of money in firewalls, on IPS, but these kind of attacks are able to surpass these security devices. They will stay in our environment, they will steal the information, and maybe make damage, like what happened with Aramco, where thousands of computers were put down. So, as we said, we are now in a digital world. We are connected. We are using Wi-Fi. We're using Android. We're using our internet browsers. We're using our smartphone. We're using USB. So it is you have to be very careful whenever you're using one of these. Okay, just think twice what you are doing, and just don't do it like, okay, I'm used to do it. Now think twice about it, and we're going to talk why you have to do that. So free Wi-Fi, it's available everywhere. Wherever you go, you have like hotspot, and you can have free internet. But you have to be careful. For example, don't go to your bank account using a free Wi-Fi, because people could be listening also on the traffic of the Wi-Fi, and they can catch the username and the password of your account, and they can have access to your account. So if you want to use the free Wi-Fi, usually go to the website if you want to watch the news, but never go to your bank applications through a free Wi-Fi. Do it from your home. Now, password is really important. You have to take care of your password. Don't use, for example, username admin and password admin or 123. It's very difficult. For example, now there is software that can able to break down your password. So your password has to be complex, and you have to change it all the time. So this is where we're going to talk a little bit about the complexity of the password, what you need to do. You need to create a password at least of 12 plus characters, not less than that. It has to have a multiple uppercase letters. It has to have multiple numbers. It has to have a multiple special characters, and no dictionary word, and no password from previous data leakage. If you do that, and somebody is trying to break your password, it will take him about 4 centuries, so you will be safe. But let me give you an example. If you decrease your password from 12 characters to 8 characters, instead of 4 centuries, it will take 12 days with the same computer. Okay? Now, we're talking about a normal computer, but if you really have sensitive information and people, they want to steal it, and they're using a supercomputer, for example, even the 12 plus characters, it can be broken in minutes with supercomputer. So we totally advise for you to change your password on a regular basis. Don't keep your password for months, or it's very dangerous. Okay? So we were talking about the importance of password. So please take it very seriously when you're having a password for your different applications or accessing different websites. So something additional information about password, never share it with everyone. Okay? Don't, for example, put like a sticker with your password on the desktop where everybody can see it. That's a big mistake. Second, don't share your password on any kind of media. Just keep your password yourself. And when we talk about complex password, we're talking about passphrases. Okay? We're talking about a password that have more than 12 plus characters. And we're talking about something that you have created that is not coming from the dictionary, that you can only remember, and it's very difficult for the other to guess. Like something similar to that. Have you seen that? $7, it's strong. Okay? Nobody can guess that you can write strong like that. Or password with 4 instead of A. So try to create password like this. It will be very difficult for the attackers in order to guess what are these passwords. We recommend also to use a password manager application. We at Kaspersky, we have, and we're providing free antivirus. So in addition to that, you can download the free password manager. What will allow you to do is to create complex password. This application will help you to do that. It will remind you when you need to change the password. And basically, it will insert the password automatically in the different application and website. And the information about the username and the password is going to be saved in an encrypted manner. So, but nobody can hack it or decrypt it and know about it. So we totally recommend to use such application. Now, I'm sure a lot of you, they have accounts on such application like LinkedIn. But in recent years, there was a lot of hacking for this website, and a lot of accounts were compromised. If you want to check if your account has been compromised in recent data breaches, you can go to this website, haveibeenpwned.com, and check if your account have been breached. If yes, please change the password as soon as possible. Now, web browser also. You don't believe the information that the web browser can send about you, and you have to be very careful about that. So a web browser can send information about your location. It can send information about the hardware. It can send information about the operating system and the name and addresses of other devices on the local network. So it is very important that when you're working on a web browser, to configure it in the right manner. Configure it in a way that it will ask you for any kind of action. Okay? So you will decide if you want to share your location. Okay? And check the cache on the web browser to see if you already gave permission for other website or application. If you do that, delete it and basically start from scratch. So it is very important. So whenever you get a pop-up, don't press automatically without thinking. Always think, what is it? What is looking for it? If, for example, you got a pop-up of update, if it is a known vendor like Microsoft, Apple, do it, because updates are extremely important. But if it's coming from a vendor you never heard about it, please don't do it, because usually it's a way of a malware trying to be installed on your desktop. And we recommend also to use some kind of a security application when you're doing browsing. For example, also with Kaspersky, we have a nice product where it gives you the reputation of the website. So, for example, you type a website, and this application will tell you, it will give you green if this website is safe. It will give you red if this website has malicious code. So using such application is very important for you, because we don't know, for example, the website we're going to, the URL that we're trying to click, if there is something malicious inside of it. Such application can help you a lot. So let's go to email. Also, email is extremely important. Sometimes we have our own private email, or we have our corporate email. So it is very important to also create a password that is complex for the email. And if you are able to use a two-factor authentication for the email, is also very important. Now remember, the content of the email is extremely important. So if there is a URL inside of the email, and the email is asking you in order to click on the URL to download something, you have to be very careful, okay? Because maybe this URL, it has something malicious, and when you click on it, automatically it will start downloading the malware. You don't have to, for example, download a file and run it. Automatically, when you click on the URL, there is something malicious will be downloaded on your desktop. And use, if you want to, for example, a lot of applications, they ask you for your email. So create your own private email and use it for such application. Don't use your corporate email in order to do that. So social media, I mean, he talked about it, because social media is becoming more and more dangerous. And the attackers, for example, if they want to attack an enterprise, a lot of them, they rely on social media, because they want to know what's your interest, okay? So if I want to attack this company, and I know this person inside of the company, I will go to the social media. I know that he's interested in fishing, he's interested in golfing, he's interested in different things. So when I send a phishing email saying that there is like an organization, there is a group of people like gathering inside of Bahrain to do fishing, this person is tended to open this email much more than other people who are not interested in fishing. So please, when you work on social media, try to limit the information that you post. For example, don't post your address, don't post your telephone number, don't post any kind of information that the attacker will use against you. So you have to be always, phishing is something very important. And one application we give is for bank application. And this happened with one of the banks in Saudi Arabia. There was a malware on the desktop of the user. And when the user opened the website in order to do some kind of banking transaction, it showed a web page very similar to the bank website, exactly the same. But it was a phishing site. It was not the real site. And there was an additional field that you need to fill in order to access. In order to do that, they ask you to download an application on your mobile. Okay? So what we know, that the attackers are on your computer. So they already stole your username, they stole your password. What they are looking for is the on-time password that they send an SMS for you from the bank. By asking you to download this on your mobile also is hacked. So now they have the username, they have the password, and they have also the one-time password sent by SMS. So you have to be very careful. So we talk about phishing, and when you receive, for example, an email, check the address of the email. For example, Polytechnic, we know how to spell Polytechnic. Check if it is the right wording of Polytechnic, okay? So you have to be very careful, especially receiving emails. Check it's coming from valid email. And if you are interested in securing your desktop, we can send you more information about what you need to do on your browser to make it more secure. And that's it. That's my presentation. I hope you like it. It can help you